I need water. I need shelter. I need food. I need a bed or some place to lay my head. I need warmth. I need safety. I need stability. I need people, friends, family. I need smiles. I need hugs. I need laughter. I need movies. I need plays. I need music. I need a better sense of rhythm. I need plays. I need art. I need silly dancing. I need magic. I need my imagination. I need not damn my imagination. I need not damn myself. I need not punish myself. I need discipline. I need to understand. I need to understand myself, you, and the world. I need peace of mind. I need to cut myself some slack. I need to remember to breathe. I need to remember that I am not alone. Memory 1. I am born Marcel Antonio Mascaro in the middle of a storm in Cuba. I am born to mother Josefina Kinsey and father Wadi Mascaro. I am born relatively healthy, except for the fact that I am asthmatic for the first 3 months of my life and hospitalized pretty frequently. But after those 3 months, I'm fine. I acclimate, I adjust. After those 3 months, 8 more months passes by. I become a year old. And although our family is relatively happy, I will later find out that my parents are not. Not necessarily because of their own relationship with each other, but because of their relationship in a country that has proved to be oppressive for way too long. The reasons for leaving are complicated and too many to list. However, the summary is like most immigrants' story. They wanted to leave to seek a country with more freedom and more opportunity. The initial plan was to apply for visas for Josefina Kinsey, my mother, for Wadi Mascaro, my father, and for myself, Marcel Antonio Mascaro. My dad and mine, and my visa, got denied. My mother's did not, so a new plan had to be formulated. The new plan was this. My mother would go to the country, to the United States, leave her own country, Cuba, come to Miami and work for as long as she needed to, raise as much money as she needed to pay for the reapplication of the visas and for the ticket itself. My mom agrees and happily goes to Miami. She lands in Miami. A year prior, her parents having gone to Miami and stayed there, so she did, in fact, have somewhere to go. However, after only 3 months in the land of freedom and opportunity, all that my mother can feel is need. Great need. My child is 1 year old. I need to see my child. I need to see my child. And so my mother calls up my father and desperately, but very calmly, says, necesito ver a Marcel. Regreso. Regreso a La Habana. Necesito ver a mi hijo. My dad listens. My dad says, you can do as you'd like. You're a free woman. However, if you come here, back to Cuba, I will leave this country by any means necessary with our child. Side note, years later when I actually had the gall, in his opinion, to confront my dad about this issue, he claims that it either didn't happen or he just does not remember. Regardless, my mom took this threat head on, and for 4 years after that, worked tirelessly in this country in all manner of jobs. Side note, my mom was a dentist in Cuba. Some of the first jobs that she had in this country without speaking a lick of English was, and I'll say this both in English and Spanish, vendiendo flores en Key Biscayne, en la playa, y en otras partes de Miami. Selling flowers in Key Biscayne, the beach, and other parts of Miami. Construction, which include putting up floors, putting up walls, plumbing with my grandfather, which include putting up toilets, putting down toilets, fixing toilets. A steel sculptor's assistant. She helped the sculptor make art out of iron. It's so weird to me. She cut trees and boulders. During Hurricane Andrew, she helped cut some of the trees that were in people's homes in the way. And of course, she also was a dentist assistant in many, many offices. She finally got us out. It cost her all those jobs and paralyzed, which is another story for another recital, for 8 months. Still trying to work. But I'm here. Memory 2. I'm in Cuba. I'm 4.5 years old. Apparently, there was a lot of photos of my mother in my dad's house. However, I remember none of them. Not one. What I do remember was that there was this one photo of my mother back in her modeling days. My mother was a model and a dentist. And this one photo was hidden in my dad's drawer in his desk, in his study desk. And we had a little game that I would only understand as later as being slightly problematic, but it was an innocent game nonetheless, which went as this. Papi, Papi, is Mommy black? My father, already knowing what was coming, no, Marcel, tu Mommy is not black. Are you sure? Marcel, ¿quieres que te enseñe la foto? Marcel, do you want to see the photo? My dad already knew past my tricks. Yes, that's all I ever wanted. I would come up with any excuse. The only one I can remember is that one. But I would come up with any excuse to look at my mom's photo. And he placed it in my hand. And although this was the most anxious experience ever, when I actually got to look at her photo, all sense of need of having to be with her, need of wanting to be in that memory, need of wanting to be in that photo, physically put my arms inside, went away. Because the sight of her face was enough. Her warmth was enough. It was as if I was allowed to look at the sun and not be blinded by its rays. My mother is a sun. I fear piercing eyes. I fear pregnant silence. I fear people's eyes stuck on my body. I fear people are only nice to me to hide just how much they hate me. I fear strangers. I fear frogs. I fear losing my memory. I fear my epilepsy will develop into dementia. I fear growing stubborn. I fear growth. I fear apathy. I fear conflict. I fear being in the center of conflict. I fear dying. I fear life. I fear losing you. I fear losing mi papá. I fear losing mi abuela. I fear losing mi familia entera. I fear being left behind, alone. I fear success. I fear that I'll never know myself. I fear that I'll never love myself. I fear that I'm too dumb. I fear that I think I'm too smart. I fear basic, básica, aburrida, normal. I fear being too quiet, too talkative, too weird, too eccentric, too fragile, too loud, too strong, too much. I fear being judged. I fear becoming even more self-centered. I fear not being enough. Memory 3, Part 1. I'm on a plane. I'm on a plane. We leave in Cuba and I'm on a plane. I'm 6 years old and I'm on a plane. I'm on the sky, gonna see mommy in Miami. Bienvenido a Miami. Papi, papi, look at me, papi. What? Papi? My father does not share my joy. We're finally being reunited as a family. I have so much joy. I'm on a plane. I'm on the sky. I'm gonna see mommy. I'm gonna see my mom. And my dad looks panicked, terrified. I don't remember what he said to me that day, but years later, we've spoken about that moment, and he remembers it all too well. When I asked him to try and summarize what that fear was about, what he was thinking, he says, Marcel, le tenía miedo a lo que esperar. Marcel, I had fear of what's to come. You see, what he was trying to describe is what I will only know by reading and by relation to my family's and their friends' struggle, which is, it is impossible to comprehend being in the middle of your life and having to leave everything you know for a completely new and different world. Story 3, Memory 3, Part 2. Same day, the airplane lands. We go through customs and checking. which at this time probably was from 4 to 5 hours, so I don't have any memory of that. I probably fell asleep. But we leave that hell. We go into the terminal of the lobby, and I'm looking frantically for my mother. And I see her. She kneels as if to bow down to me with arms outstretched. And she beckons me, and I run into her arms, into her embrace. I am embraced by the sun. I feel the warmth of the sun on my body. And I stay arrested to her the whole entire night. I have a picture that proves this fact. A picture from La Cajeta, which is a Cuban-American restaurant. I'm arrested to her leg in this photo, and I cannot let go. I would later find out, many years after, that this memory, like many memories, was a construction. La Cajeta memory was real. My mother bowing to me, arms outstretched, tears in her face, was real. However, my reaction to that was not running towards her arms. She outstretched her arms, and I hid. I hid behind my father's leg. She says that I must have been too scared. I think I was too overwhelmed by the sun. Story 4. Remember that I said I was asthmatic? So, 2 weeks from the airport memory, I'm in bed. I can't talk. I can't breathe. I'm hooked up to a machine. And the adults in the room, which include my mother and my father reunited, God help us, my grandparents and my great aunt, all fighting because my mom has to return to New York, and according to her and according to me, I have to go with her. There's concern that I'm too sick. There's concern that I can't make the trip. I try to let them know, hey, I can go. I'm strong enough, please. I can't be separated from her again. Listen, we can talk about this. Let's make a deal. If I drink more water, would that help? However, apparently all that came out was, this memory is rather short because I end up being very disappointed. I'm led to believe that I cannot go because I am too sick, even though I see my mother and father fighting for me to go. I would years later, almost like 2 years ago actually, find out that it had nothing to do with me being sick necessarily. That was a factor. But it was more that there was no more money left, and my great aunt would not lend my mother the money. There was too much money, I guess, being given. I don't know what she was scared about. I love the ocean. I love the sky, cloudy or blue. I love pink sunsets. I love forests. I love hiking. I love the moon. I love that the moon controls the ocean's tide. I love that the moon might control our minds. I love that the moon does not belong to us, and yet it's still our moon. I love family, biological and found. I love food. I love being hungry for food, thoughts, and emotions. I love to understand. I love when I accept that it's okay not to understand. I love when I can relate to you and yours. I love being too tired to do a thing and pushing myself to do it anyway. I love pushing way too much. I love when I find ease in life and in work. I love running in the rain. I love to fly in my dreams and in real life. I love to dream. I love feeling like I'm wearing a cloud. I love to love. I love this universe. I love you all. Memory 5! So around 3 months after bedridden time. So that actually was my last and final asthma attack ever. I only got bronchitis after that. Something about this country just like whisked it away. That was a side note. I'm 7 years old. I am 7 years old. And I'm finally in New York with my mom. Around 2 or 3 months have passed. And we're moving. We're moving in New York. At this time, I thought New Jersey was another suburb of New York City. So in my mind, we're moving from New Jersey, New York, to the Bronx, New York. We're in the apartment now. It's kind of this empty and this high of ceilings. Franklin, who, side note, is my mom's current adult friend. I would later find out that adults had close personal friends that weren't exactly your father or your mother, but they were like close to, but you didn't have to actually call them that. And that was fine, you know, just my friend Franklin. That was my friend Franklin. He was really nice. Yeah. So I see Franklin leave through that door, and then I see my mom come towards me, very carefully, because she probably already anticipated how scared I would be, and said, I have to leave for 10 minutes. Stay, recuerda. Stay in the apartment. Don't move. Don't answer the door, 21. Si hasta dicen que son amigas mías, don't do it. Hasta si es la policía, don't do it. Stay in the apartment. Okay, mommy, why would I disobey my mother? And so I see my mom leave, and I, like a good little child, stay put. I have a tendency of not recognizing time. And the problem as it related to me as a 7-year-old child is that I didn't know how to read the clocks without the numbers. Yet, that would come a little bit later. And so I don't know how much time felt, but I was looking at this clock and it felt like hours. I was like freaking out. I was probably giving myself the first panic attack of my life. And I go, when is she coming back? When is she coming back? No, I have to trust her. I have to trust her. She's coming back. She will be here. She's coming back. She's going to come in through that door. Maybe if I count to 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I can't wait, I'm going to go outside. I go outside. I open the door. She's nowhere to be found. Nowhere. I start yelling, "Mommy!" Walking, running across the halls. "Mommy! Mommy, ¿dónde estás?" In reality, this is what I thought I was doing, what I was probably doing, because I was too shy to wake or bother anyone in the apartments, was, "Mommy! Mommy! 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 Mommy!" But in my heart, inside, I was like, "Mommy! Mommy! 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 And this is Bronx apartment building, so there's at least 9 or 10 floors. So I'm going down, mommy, mommy, nada. I go down again, mommy, 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 nada. Go down the stairs, mommy, 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 nada. I can't find my mom. Go down to the lobby, no boxes, no people, no helpers, no Franklin, no mommy, mommy. I open the doors outside of the lobby. I go out to the porch. There's no truck. The moving truck is gone. At this point, my panic becomes so internal that I turn into a stone. And all I can think about is like, wow, I don't even remember where I left from. So now I have to go. What if my mother went to the place where she told me to wait? I didn't wait. I moved. How do I get back to the apartment? Either way, I find myself back to the hall. And I start another period of waiting when out of nowhere I hear footsteps. I raise my head, and it's me, Mama. And I get up, I outstretch my arms, and my mom just attacks me with the deepest, tightest hug ever. And then suddenly I feel my mother smacked me. And before I can turn around and ask her why she just did that, I see her face flushed with tears. And she attacks me with another hug and says, "I'm sorry, I was just so scared." It was at that moment, en ese momento, que me di cuenta la cantidad de amor incondicional que tú me tenías. En ese momento me di cuenta que mi miedo no tenía ninguna comparación y nunca lo va a tener con el suyo, con tu miedo. Me di cuenta en ese momento que yo soy bendecida. I realized at that moment that my mom not only was as scared as I was, but she loved me way more than I could ever fathom. I was blessed. I am blessed.
Thank you. Thank you.
We all need. We all fear. And we all love.